Have you ever stopped to think that the Flash's legacy isn't just about one hero, but a whole family of speedsters spread across time, the multiverse, and even the future? The mantle of the fastest man alive has been worn by legendary figures, young prodigies, and even descendants from centuries ahead. Today, we're diving into the Speed Force and checking out the 9 most iconic members of the Flash family, the ones who carried the torch of speed and made their mark in DC history. But before we jump in, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments, who's your all-time favorite speedster? Bart Allen. Bart Allen isn't just another speedster. He's the grandson of the legendary Barry Allen, straight from the future. He first appeared in 1994 and quickly won over readers with his explosive, impatient, and, well, impulsive personality. What makes Bart so special is his origin. Due to a genetic issue, he was born with an accelerated metabolism that made his life run at an insane pace, nearly leading to his death as a child. It was only thanks to the Speed Force and Barry's help that he was able to stabilize his powers. As Impulse, Bart brought a fresh vibe to the speedster legacy. He was that young, playful, and chaotic hero who often acted before thinking, but always delivered incredible results. Later, he also took on the mantle of Kid Flash and even became the main Flash for a while, showing that even with his irreverent style, he could carry the weight of the legacy. Plus, Bart shone in teams like Young Justice and the Teen Titans, where his witty personality and boundless energy led to unforgettable moments. He might not be the most iconic member of the Flash family, but he's definitely one of the most beloved by those who grew up reading his stories in the 90s and 2000s. Jesse Quick. If the legacy of speed is a race across generations, Jessie Chambers was born in the pole position. The daughter of Johnny Quick and the original Liberty Bell, Jessie inherited not only her parents' heroic spirit, but also access to one of the most interesting ways to gain super speed: the equation 3x2 9yz 4a. Yep, while most speedsters rely on the Speed Force, Jessie activates her speed through this mathematical formula created by her dad. It's almost like her power starts in her mind before it hits her legs, and that alone makes her stand out in the Flash family. Created in 1992, Jessie quickly made a name for herself in the comics, being a constant ally to speedsters and eventually taking on the identity of Liberty Bell in honor of her mother. Plus, she stood out as a key member of the Justice Society of America, always playing an important role in major battles. What's amazing about Jessie is that she combines 2 powerful legacies: the speedsters and the classic heroes of the Golden Age. And even with so many giants around her, she's never stopped shining on her own. XS. Jenni Ognats. Straight from the future to the present, here comes Jenni Ognats, better known as XS. Born in 1986 in the comics, she's the daughter of Bart Allen, one of the Tornado Twins, meaning she carries the legendary Barry Allen's blood. But Jenni wasn't just tied to her Earth legacy. She became one of the most important members of the Legion of Superheroes, the superhero team active in the 31st century. There, XS showed that the Speed Force runs strong in her veins, taking the Flash legacy into DC's future. What makes XS special is exactly that connection between generations. While many speedsters carry the responsibility of protecting Keystone or Central City, she carries the whole future on her shoulders. Still, it's not uncommon for her to travel back to the present to help her family when things get tough. On top of her incredible speed, XS also won over fans as a symbol of diversity and representation within the Flash mythos. And let's be honest, seeing a descendant of Barry shining centuries later is proof that the Flash legacy is truly timeless. Bart and Bart Allen, the Tornado Twins. If there's one legacy that really shows the strength of the Flash family, it's the Tornado Twins. Bart and Bart Allen are the children of none other than Barry Allen and Iris West, first appearing in the comics in 1968. Although they didn't have as many solo stories, they've always carried a huge symbolic weight. They're the direct heirs of DC's most iconic Flash. And even though their appearances were shorter, they became important for what they left for the future. Bart and Bart are mainly remembered for the children they had: Bart Allen, Impulse, and Jenni Ognats, XS. So through them, Barry's legacy kept running through generations, even reaching the 31st century. The Tornado Twins may not have had the same spotlight in solo comics as Barry, Wally, or Jay, but they represent the bridge between eras and the expansion of the Flash family into the future. They're proof that in Speed, nothing is ever lost. What starts with Barry echoes forever. So, do you think the Tornado Twins deserve more attention in the comics, with their own adventures? Or does it make sense that they're remembered more for the impact of their descendants? If you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because we've still got the most important speedsters from the Flash family coming up. Johnny Quick. Unlike almost all other speedsters, Johnny Quick doesn't rely on the Speed Force to run. Created in 1941, John Chambers figured out a pretty unusual way to access super speed, the famous equation 3x2, 9yz, 4a. By repeating this formula, he could tap into an energy that gave him incredible speed abilities. This detail alone makes him one of the most unique speedsters in DC, because while Barry, Jay, or Wally dive into the Speed Force, Johnny uses his mind as the key to unlocking his power. It's almost like a mathematical shortcut to speed. In the comics, Johnny Quick was a big deal during the Golden Age, and his legacy continued through his daughter, Jessie Chambers, who inherited not just his heroic spirit, but also the equation that turned her into Jessie Quick. Even though he's not as popular as Barry or Wally, Johnny is key to showing that the Flash family is much more than just the Speed Force. Max Mercury. If the Flash family has its big icons leading the way, Max Mercury is the speed-wise guru, the one who understands the Speed Force like no one else. Created in 1940, he started as the Quicksilver of the Golden Age, but was later reintroduced into the DC Universe as Max Mercury, and that's when he found his true place. Unlike Barry, Wally, or Jay, Max was never the most popular speedster, but he's always been the most mysterious and spiritual. While others use speed as a power, Max sees it as an almost mystical force, dedicating his life to understanding its secrets. That made him the true guru of speed within the family. A standout part of his journey is that he got trapped in several timelines, always trying to push the limits of the Speed Force, which only adds to his wandering and master-like vibe. In the present, his most important role was as a mentor to Bart Allen, Impulse, helping shape Barry's grandson and giving him the discipline he lacked. Max might not carry the same weight as Barry or Wally, but he's the wise heart of the family, the one who knows that speed isn't just about running faster. It's a spiritual link between all the speedsters. Wally West. If there's one character who won over fans and at many times even outshined his mentor, it's Wally West. Created in 1960, he started out as Kid Flash, basically a kid version of Barry Allen, but his journey grew into something epic. Wally really stood out when he joined the Teen Titans, forming friendships and rivalries that shaped his personality. He stopped being just the sidekick and became a hero with his own voice. But the most defining moment of his journey came when Barry sacrificed himself in Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's when the unexpected happened. Wally took up the mantle and became the main Flash of DC. And it wasn't just a replacement. He evolved so much that many consider him the ultimate Flash. Even more than that, he's been shown in various comics as the fastest man in the DC Multiverse, pulling off insane feats like outrunning death itself, running faster than light, and even beating the Speed Force in races. For years, Wally was the Flash fans followed, the speedster of the Justice League, the hero who kept the legacy alive. He represents not just continuity, but also overcoming the odds, the pupil who managed to honor and even surpass the master. Barry Allen. If there's one hero who changed superhero comics forever, it's Barry Allen. Created in 1956, he marked the transition from the Golden Age to the Silver Age, bringing in a new generation of readers and becoming one of the pillars of DC Comics. Barry was a forensic scientist when, in what seemed like a twist of fate, he was struck by lightning and doused in chemicals. From there, the new Flash was born, who not only took on Jay Garrick's mantle, but also took the speedster mythology to a whole new level. With Barry, the concept of the Speed Force started to take shape, and speed stories became much more tied to science, time, and even the multiverse. He's the one who introduced time travel, alternate realities, and cosmic sagas that shaped the entire DC universe. But the biggest moment of his career was his sacrifice in Crisis on Infinite Earths, when Barry gave his life to save the multiverse. That moment immortalized him as a true martyr, a hero who gave everything for the greater good. His death was so impactful it lasted decades, with Wally West stepping into his place as Flash. When Barry finally returned, he brought back the spirit of the Silver Age, reaffirming his place as one of the greatest heroes of all time. Now tell me, do you think Barry is unbeatable as the symbol of the Flash, or do you think Wally West surpassed him in feats and charm? Jay Garrick. Created in 1940, during the golden age of comics, Jay Garrick was the first Flash and also the first speedster in DC Comics. Unlike those who came after him, his powers came from a classic origin for the time, a lab accident when he inhaled vapors of heavy water. From there, Jay became the fastest man alive. With his iconic metal helmet inspired by the god Hermes, Jay quickly became one of the publisher's most popular heroes and was one of the founders of the Justice Society of America, the first superhero team in comic book history. But Jay's importance didn't stop in the 40s. When DC decided to reinvent its heroes in the Silver Age, his existence opened the door to the concept of the multiverse. The classic story Flash of Two Worlds, 1961, which showed Jay and Barry Allen meeting, not only united generations but laid the foundation for DC's entire parallel universe mythology. Over the years, Jay became a mentor and guide for new generations of speedsters, like Barry, Wally, and Bart. Acting as the patriarch of the Flash family, his presence ensures the link between the past, present, and future of DC. And so, we've seen how the Flash family grew and shaped the DC universe, with each speedster leaving their unique mark. Want to learn about another hero family just as important? Then hurry up and check out the video on the Bat family post-crisis and meet all its members.